this round. Give me 1 second. Some of you are calling Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. You'll see that number posted in the description. Wanting them to meet me at the corner of Berry Road and Robinson Street, Norman, Oklahoma. We're right next to the airport. Directed energy weapons utilized against our families in Western North Carolina that we are out here on behalf of. So if this is your first video, you might have to play catch up. VOP News is doing a special edition of our program, Veterans on Patrol. Operation Simulation. We are simulating lone wolf attacks and group attacks against directed energy weapons. Military technology embedded within the civilian infrastructure being utilized against the American people without consent and knowledge for the most part. Now they have a specific boundary they're saying that I can't cross. But that's regardless, the next exercise has to take place anyway so people can see, even if you don't have something on a piece of paper that says you can't get within so many feet of a directed energy weapon, you still would want to do what I'm going to show you. So, I know how fast I'll be able to move with my gear. Now, when you go up a tower, because this first part is occupying a tower, the belief is that they would have to shut down the tower, the power running to the tower, and prevent the tower from being used until human life is no longer in jeopardy. So someone simply just sitting up there would effectively shut down a directed energy weapon and you wouldn't have to destroy anything. Now, even the fences that they have around there, if you can't get over a fence, even with the 3-string barbed wire, then, you probably shouldn't be trying to go and scale a tower. Now, in this situation, a lone wolf was dropped. And he knows already. He doesn't have to come out and see this again. He's already done 2 recons. And one was directly under the towers. That's how you guys have a lot of those close-up pictures I'm putting out on our channel where we walked up to him. I got him in stages from that side, walking all the way up over that way, and then directly underneath them. I'm going to show you while we wait on the sheriffs. Those of you that are calling, you call the sheriff's department, call that number there, let them know that I'm here. It says something about there's not going to be a whole lot of resources available Easter weekend, holiday, weekend. Sounds so belittling. It's the moment remembered when our Lord and Savior conquered death. And if you have death conquered within you through Christ, you definitely shouldn't be afraid of directed energy weapons. So, what they've done, and I'll show you, they have security posted back over there by that tower. They have a unit that's over there by that tower over there. Now, there's one right behind this building. Probably going to be able to get him on this angle. I don't know if you can see how far my bag is. Way over there. So, what I've measured, the Lone Wolf, I know how fast I can move. I know what gear I would need if it turned into a long-term occupation. Definitely don't want to be bored up there. Play some good music. Taking back what the enemy stole. Enemy stole blue skies. So, what I'm doing now is I'm going to end up setting the phone down while you're doing live. And I have to get from that bag to this post and back to that bag. And then at that bag, I have to stop because I'll be on the side of that building. And there's a unit on the other side of that building, a security unit. Now, just pretend like they're not looking for you or something like that, because they don't know that you're getting ready to go shut down a directed energy weapon that was used to murder all of our families in Western North Carolina, and every state too. I don't mean to be little or forget any of you in Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, Atlanta, Georgia, you know, Florida, because they're always getting hammered. South Carolina. Okay, so remember, got to run to the bag, run it back. Now, when I get back to the bag, I'm going to stop because I would theoretically be over at that building on the other side. The guy over there in that truck is not going to be able to see me from the angle I would be coming in. I've already walked over on the hill to see how I would access that, you know. So, and if you're worried about them knowing how this is going to happen, don't be worried about it, because they're going to be able to see every possible way that a lone wolf could evade their security to shut down a directed energy weapon without causing harm to the tower, without causing harm to property, without causing harm to life. They need to see every way it can happen. They need to be prepared. Now, get to that building. Obviously, I'm going to catch my breath because you're going to have a long sprint. I'm getting to that tower right there. I'm not worried about that one. It's the least of my worries. That one and that one. And so to get to this one, the distance, once I've catching my breath, is I have to run back and forth from the post. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times. So you have a total of 9. Now what we're going to do is we're going to simulate me run to that tower. And I'll be kind of hunched over. I'll be running. I'm not putting the bag on for this particular part. We're waiting to see if the sheriff's departments get here or not. Now, the lone wolf already knows who's on duty and their weight mass and feasibility of them being able to outrun the lone wolf. I mean, he already knows that. So that's not a concern. The concern's going to be once you break cover here, backup security is going to know. Even with the car, not going to be able to go with the trench and the dip that's up over there. You got to make it to the dip because the truck ain't getting over that dip in that field. So you got to haul, run fast as you possibly can. Now, they most likely are going to reposition that truck because it's in the worst place it could possibly be. It would literally have to drive around when you're breaking cover from this building to run to that directed energy weapon. It's going to see you. Got to be moving pretty fast. Getting from this point to that where you can breathe really quick, it's going to be pretty easy. Especially if you make your move at nighttime. Now, remember, in the first simulation, Lone Wolf was just by himself. This part is called Operation Alone No More, to where there's going to be other entities involved. You got to have people running cameras, microphones, Everything needs to be recorded, spoken out loud, truthfully, and heard. The person that's performing the greatest sacrifice one could perform, laying down their life for all the sheep and cattle that have no idea they're being experimented on by the U.S. military. Can't carry a phone, record, and all that other stuff. Now GoPro, that other stuff, yeah, you know, but for carrying a phone and doing a live stream while you're got a load on your back. So while we wait for the sheriff's department, if you're just joining us, just call the sheriff's department. If you're getting kicked in and out, it's not me. It's a normal function of YouTube. Set this down. Okay. All right, now the traffic, that's really nice. The traffic is, be steady. All right. Perfect. Now the traffic's probably wondering, like, what's going on? That's good. You want them to look. If I see any windows down, I got a pretty loud voice, so I'll use the term directed energy weapons, stratospheric aerosol injections, military treason, murder in the Appalachians. We don't like that. Speak it. All right. So you want to break cover, you want to evade security, you got your gear on your back, and you're going to be attacking that directed energy weapon right there. It's nighttime. There ain't that many cars. You know when they're playing on their phones, somebody's watching. So you know they're not paying attention, they're looking at their phones. They think you're in a position where you're not really there no more because someone else is there in your gear. It's nighttime. Doing a daytime, nighttime simulation. So we're going to lurk. And then I'll just do a still count in my mind. All right. All right, the guy protecting the military's weapons being used against Americans, he just opened Facebook, and bam, Chinese ad with some young girl wearing a bikini. Go. All right. It didn't take that long, by the way. There is probably about half the distance. We'll come out and run it, you can. He's looking at the phone. Other guy in the white truck, still parked in the wrong spot. Can't see you. Gotta move.
Got laid down in the ditch. It's probably twice as long as what we're doing right now. Beautiful. There and back to the tower. Uh-oh, someone opened Candy Crush. Truck still parked in the wrong spot. No body heat on night vision. IR's good. Let's go. Gotta jump a fence. Ah. Got another one over there too, spectator. Ta-da! Man, I see the federal trolls have been activated. That's just someone walking through the field. This one has a canine. We'll know exactly how long it takes to stroll over there with a dog. You just casually walk up to him in daylight. Carrying gear for an occupation, though, you'd have to convince it to a smaller backpack. Security still in the same position. Waiting on the sheriffs. Sure hope their message to the community is that they're going to do something. Not that they're going to sit and wait. It is Easter. They're short staffed. Maybe it's going to take them 20-30 minutes longer than normal. Time. He's over there. He just crossed the threshold with the pup. Don't forget about the creek that runs through that field. Really a drainage ditch. No cover once cover is broken from that. But there are other ways to get it done too. Hidden in a vehicle, just being driven through, dropped, and vehicle leaves. Call an Uber or a Lyft and say, oh, no, yeah, I'm supposed to be over at that research tower, and have them just park you right over there. They didn't know. Record everything. They didn't know you was getting ready to try to save the world, because you don't think the military should be playing God with the weather, and you don't want to see what happened in Western North Carolina happen to anyone else's community. Extra security. So I've seen Norman Police Department, Oklahoma University Police Department. No state troopers yet. Of course, they're the last ones. That's only at the Sheriff's Department wants to decline jurisdiction. They'll use a state trooper to block a ramp on the highway because they say the weather conditions are too dangerous for you. They could easily use the same troopers on these gates at the university's compound and block access so no one's there to operate and run these weapons. So if I get time, I'll look back at the video later and I'll just see get a rough number of how many people saw me run up and down, not run, but walk fast. If you see someone talking about it later, just link this video. Speaking of videos, a lot of videos, a lot of evidence given to the FBI on quite a few things too, not just border related stuff, you know, not just our missing children, but some people with wealth and one in a high position of authority, trafficking and abusing these migrant kids and their families. And stuff in her property full of the gangs. Nope. Just apartment full of victim after victim, traffic victims. So Judge Gloria Ochoa Bruck out of Spokane, municipal judge. A lot of corruptions out there. Judges have been found guilty for the kidnapping of Samantha's children. You know, jury awarded there. You got a judge out here trying to block her reading on the record, but they can't prevent the liens from getting put on the record. So Oklahoma state land, including their prison little work camp. Those things can actually have legal liens placed upon them because of the jury's verdict, their findings and instructions. If you're just getting here, we're out here at Oklahoma University's Weather Command Center. Directed energy weapons were here, were utilized against Western North Carolina families and all the other states when Helene was generated. Remember that. When they talk to you about cloud seeding and chemtrails, that's all real. You got to have something to manipulate, and that's where HAARP comes in, and that's where your NEXRAD towers come in. Waiting for the sheriff's department to get out here. Hope you're not just sitting in a vehicle watching this somewhere. Public's going to want to know, why didn't you do something? Who wouldn't let you do your job? Yeah, they got a unit over there. They got someone pulled over. Let's go check out. Let's go see what's going on over there while we wait for the sheriffs to get out here. Waiting for the sheriffs to get out here and shut down these weapons. I don't consent to them being used. And if they can't, we want them to tell all of you why. But they will acknowledge, like we've gotten to, and a lot of your politicians up there in the Capitol, they know that it's military. The U.S. military is playing God with the weather. Let's see. Oh, we got 2 units, it looks like. Yeah, there's a couple units over there. Let's go see what these people are doing. You probably can't see them yet. They're at a gate. Not a gate, you can just drive through there. It's a road. We look at all the entry points around this campus. Just imagine the gates there. So go where you don't have a fence. Let's hope we're getting all these law enforcement officials coming out here to shut these weapons down. Wouldn't that be great? Good day to seek the Lord. Here's the flashing blue lights. So they got a Mustang or something pulled over there. Yeah. Set this down.
get some coffee soon. Comes the third unit. This one's not slowing down or stopping. It's like he's going up to the intersection. If you just joined us, you'll see a phone number in the description. Go ahead and call it. Let them know. That I'm waiting for them. And will the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office do their job, uphold their oaths, and protect all these people who don't even know what those weather weapons are actually used for. They think that's there to give them a warning in case a tornado comes. Let's see. Oh, they got somebody sitting down too. They're commandeering a nice sports car. Yeah, they got someone sitting down on the curb. This traffic stop. 2 units, and they got a nice muscle car there. Guy's still sitting down. You see a tow truck or something will come by. Not my problem. Those are our problems right now. We want them to stop running around ticketing people, and we want them to shut this place down. And every other installation across the United States of America. Wherever there's a directed energy weapon that's been built and put inside the communities. Do you think any of these people, if you were to knock on their door, give them the stated facts that we've reported to the FBI that they've acknowledged is true? But there's nothing they can do. There's something you can do. You can run simulation attacks, let them know you're paying attention and that you're preparing to take the weapons out in your community. You can go execute it. The first method we want to achieve is shutting them down without causing any harm to anything. I mean, they would eventually have to be torn down. So they can't just turn them back on and start poisoning our skies again. You know? They would have to be taken down. Reconvert them into free energy. Tesla Tower technology anyways. Use it for good. Don't use it to flood and kill people. God said he would never flood the world again. The U.S. military is playing God with the weather, and guess what they're doing? Mocking God. Harp. God's favorite musical instrument. Mocked. Harp. Mocking God's weather. Make it flood to destroy kingdoms now. Still waiting on the sheriff's department. So if you're joining and you're new, we've been simulating attacks, videoing them, telling people in the community what we're doing, notifying them what we're doing. This way they're not, shocked. Our mission is to eliminate the United States military's use of chemical agents, biological agents, nanotechnology, and directed energy weapons against us. Stop playing God with the weather. Stop murdering our people. Take off the uniform and put the uniform on the nation you are serving. Because the United States military is not serving the American people when it's poisoning us and using technology beyond you guys. Some of you, this is as far down the rabbit hole I want you guys to go. They're using weapons against you that you can't even imagine. Some of these are visible, some of them are not, and almost all of them are embedded within your communities across America or floating up above the toxic clouds. This was all formed by chemtrails. You guys saw all the spraying that was going on. Waiting on the corner of Berry and Robinson Street for Cleveland County Sheriff's officers to show up. I want to present the first 3 simulations for them to consider. You got to be persistent when you do these things too, guys. You just got to be persistent. If you're expecting to see a whole bunch of love and support, not going to happen. Oh, wait, we got another unit just rolled up there, turned his lights on that car. What's going on here? They needed a backup for him? Waiting on the sheriff's office. Is that them? Let's see. It says, nope, that's just Norman Police. It's not the sheriff's office. Another Norman Police. No sheriffs yet. If you guys haven't called that number and leave a message, it's perfectly okay to do so. You should probably get out to the next rad tower near you and have the sheriffs meet you out there too. So if any of you are traveling out by the airport, that's 5 Norman Police units I've seen. It's like they're running a speed trap in the area, taking advantage of the Easter weekend traffic, generating that revenue. Got an Uber there, and that's one thing you do, as I said earlier, just have someone drop you off in the Uber. Drive right next to that tower. You don't have to run and do the ground infiltration the way I was showing you earlier. Poor Uber driver. They probably end up blessed. Next thing you know, they're gonna be driving around in a Bentley. that I called them 40 minutes ago, and I've had one person send me a recording already. Thank you for doing that. Another Crusader. Fire truck coming with their fire lights blazing. And then Samantha called on the other phone while she was on speakerphone with me, so I know for a fact 2 have called. Imagine it's a lot more now. It was weird. I saw the truck go down, their lights blazing that way. Must have made a wrong turn. Come up that way. Squad 7. Maybe they're needing it. Man, for any of you in law enforcement, you're having to spend your Easter weekend protect these weapons that the military is using to play God with the weather with. I want you to really reflect on who the hell you're serving. What's the matter with you? Why aren't you protecting your children by getting every one of your brothers and sisters and getting in those taxpayer-funded squad cars and surrounding these facilities and shutting the power off? Because those NEXRAD towers aren't needed. It's not going to affect anything. Just the military's not going to be able to control those weather systems they're making. They can make big ones with HARP. You got to still have the ground-based units, the steering mechanism. 3 components to that. Those of you in law enforcement, your children are choking on their poisons. I'm choking on. You're choking. What are you protecting? FBI agents. Release the 4 hours of interviews you guys had with me over the couple years regarding this frickin' thing right here. The feds know. They can be given authority to infiltrate crowds and stage an insurrection on January 6th and no one be held accountable or spend a day in jail. They strip the constitutional rights of Americans and make them sit in agonizing 4 years until they were eventually pardoned by the very man that told them to go home. The FBI can spend all their time and resources doing that. They can tell you how many cars are missing with an accurate, precise number. But it gets a little hazy math when it comes to all the children, especially the ones they have to wipe out of the databases at your National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Clinton Global Initiative Human Trafficking Hotline, where you're calling to the very traffickers and letting them know where their network is exposed. The FBI will conceal and redact Jeffrey Epstein's list. You don't see Kash Patel and Dan Bongino doing anything. Pam Bondi and Kash, they'll go to a crime scene where they apprehend a Trendé Oahu criminal and be dressed up like it's a Law and Order script. That's insane. Playing a movie right out before your eyes. Nope, but you have to be an influencer to get a notebook with the Epstein's list on it. And then nothing materializes from that. Be 3-4 months later, and those people will still have everyone distracted with something else. This guy's running over there pretty fast. He must have saw something in the grass. A truck, yeah, running back up. Pretty fast. He must be doing his own little test run. Those of you in law enforcement, if you can only enforce the law on lower level criminals and not have it equally applied, especially the protections, why are you wearing that uniform, that badge, and carrying that gun? Nothing more than a prison guard. How much money is Oklahoma University having to pay for extra security because we're running simulations on destroying the equipment, shutting it down, or eliminating it in some fashion? All saying all those is perfectly fine. It's a directed energy weapon. It was used to murder people. Show a jury the evidence and see if it doesn't convince them. And then ask them, what would you do if that weapon destroyed your community, murdered your loved ones, and could be sent again against you because you're sitting on top of a whole lot of lithium and other natural resources? You're in law enforcement. You could flip it on their heads right now. All it takes is the sheriff of this county, Chris. Pretty sure you're having to pay attention now. Joint Terrorism Task Force is. So that automatically makes you a player. But imagine if the sheriff's department comes out, takes complaint right here. Because once we get to an hour, it's an emergency. These towers are still activated. I tried the non-emergency, being very patient. I mean, if we got to start blowing up 911, then we got to blow up 911. It is Easter. We're being patient. We're going to be at an hour soon, about 12, 13 minutes. We're still hanging right where we said we would be, the corner of Robinson and Berry Road. If you're just joining us, this is Louis Arthur of VOP News. The United States military is using chemical agents, biological agents, nanotechnology, and directed energy weapons against you, America. These are some of the directed energy weapons that were utilized to steer Helene up into western North Carolina. They murdered all those people. All the land that was taken by FEMA and would continue to be taken after the Biden administration was, quote unquote, elected out, after the guard changed. None of that land's been returned to any of the people, nor has FEMA any of the requests contacted back. No mainstream media news or any push whatsoever, because then it's going to put a very tough question in front of Donald Trump. Now, we've been asking the President of the United States, who is the Commander-in-Chief. President of the United States is the Commander-in-Chief of the United States military. And if he ordered the military to stop playing God with the weather, you would no longer see chemical haze, cloud skies, checkered patterns from the biological and chemical agents, stratospheric aerosol injections. It's a military weather weapons program. They can say geoengineering, weather modification, whatever you want. But what I saw was a weather weapon deployed against western North Carolina. A land grab take place afterwards, and the land grab succeed because there's been no undoing of any of the executive orders that permits the federal government the authority. They can still seize your home if they declare a disaster. They need it be so. Take all your food. Take all your water. They can do that. Better read what's been written that these politicians have passed. These politicians have passed laws that allow the United States military to put directed energy weapons in our infrastructure and use those directed energy weapons against us like we're guinea pigs in an experiment. And that's pretty much what it is. Now, the military calls this live exercises. So everyone in the United States of America, if you're on American soil, if you're in Alaska, Hawaii, Puerto Rico, You're in those areas, even Cuba, if you don't think they're doing it down there, look at the towers. If you're in these areas, especially U.S. airspace, you're being poisoned. And the military is allowed to poison your skies and turn those checkered pattern, quote-unquote, contrails, those chemical trails, fan it out with HAARP, their frequencies, their weather technology, form systems, utilizing Tesla towers, the NEXRADs, as the systems are moving to push and direct, increase and decrease pressure. These things are multifaceted. They're not just going to give you a precise location of where some tornado is. It's going to help send that tornado to a precise location they don't want you to be at. And they're going to use weapons of weather to steal your land like they have been, because you don't see it coming. They're not sending our military in with their firearms and their tanks. They're sending the military in with the weather weapons system. Sounds like it's sci-fi, huh? Well, it's true. I would be in violation of some major laws right now if I was lying out here doing what I'm doing. I'd be defrauding everybody. The feds would have had to arrest me. Not allowed to lie to a federal agent and give them false information. You have to speak truth and give them what you know to be true as best as you can remember it. They're allowed to lie to you. Agent Rich, you acknowledged that in the meeting, didn't you? I'm not allowed to lie to you, but you are allowed to lie to me. But I don't think you were lying when you said Trump isn't going to do it. And I hope you don't think that I was lying when I said I'm going to do something about it as soon as God says go. Amen. Right now, the people that are fed up with chemtrails, fed up with directed energy weapons, the radiation, the EMFs, 5G, now they're seeing a new way to fight back. And be specific about the infrastructure. It's the United States Military Industrial Complex. These are U.S. military programs. These are our soldiers in uniform. Not just researchers at campuses and students and scientists. No. Active duty military personnel participate in these programs. Navy being one of the biggest culprits. Most people think it's Air Force because you see the Air Force poisoning our skies all the time with the corporates working with them. But Navy is a beast. They've got their ships with their own NEXRAD units on them. They got their ships that pump out the chemical and biological disbursement, shooting it up into the atmosphere. So they don't have to spray chemtrails in a checkered spattern. They can form whole masses. They've got the ability now to, with artificial intelligence, to manipulate radar data. So you're not going to be able to use any radar data that's come out since probably 3 or 4 weeks after Helene hit. I mean, I wouldn't trust any radar data. We got Norman here right now, one of Norman's finest, sitting right here. See, yeah, he's on his phone, you know. Oh, and he's still driving and still on his phone. Yeah, see, you know. Oh, there's another one over there. We're waiting on the sheriffs. That number you guys are calling, that's for the Cleveland County Sheriff's Office. I notified the deputy chief that we were running simulations this weekend on how to destroy, and those are my words, directed energy weapons being used against us. Other one drove over there, I guess, to hang out and talk to him for a minute. We're on the corner of Robinson and Berry Road. It's been almost an hour. Still got 2 units over there with that guy. If you're a first responder working in the fire department and they want you to keep a unit out here just in case something would happen, those weapons are being used against your kids too. If you're a member of some jury in the future and you saw the senators, the representatives, the governor, the law enforcement, the FBI, all of them refuse to uphold the Constitution, the laws on the book, as they're written. When someone delivers non-consent, or it's proven that harm is being caused to human life, there is no authorization for the military to use chemical agents, biological agents, and directed energy weapons against us. Doesn't say 100 people, doesn't say in one human life. I don't consent. I'm a child of God. I do not consent, and the governor knows, law enforcement knows, the senators know, the representatives know, and on behalf of all of our Western North Carolina families that I promised I would get here to this point, their wishes for these weapons to be shut down are going to be heard and fulfilled. You can call that number. It's in the description. Sheriff's office is watching. The DNC don't contact. Until I violate a law, there's really nothing they can do. That's it. And they know that with the way they can censor and block and distract everybody in America and their attention span, this is no major threat to them yet. The only threat is, what if the people who have seen and exposed their own NEXRADs for the weaknesses started running simulations like this and contacting? And then what if media found out that American citizens are running simulations destroying military equipment that's being used against us? And it doesn't matter if they say destroying radar towers that they believe are some military conspiracy to modify the weather. Good. If they want to lie about the truth, we don't care, but the truth is going to get out there. You can lie about the truth stands on itself. The lie falls flat. Don't care. The truth can get out there. Go ahead and call that number. Leave the message in the description. Let them know I'm waiting patiently. Oh, I was pointing at this earlier 7-Eleven. Sorry, the 7-Eleven's over there. So these towers are activated. And if a tower's activated, scientifically this is a stated truth. If the tower is activated, the weather is being manipulated. Doesn't matter how much or how little. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what type of manipulation. Scientifically stated fact, if these towers are on, the weather is being manipulated. So right now, this tower is on. and I'm doing a live video. That tower's on too, and that tower's on. The tower's on. It's functioning. Right now, that tower is modifying, manipulating the weather. Period. That tower is violating federal law because it's been proven to cause harm. They've used them to form weapons to send in to murder people and steal land. The radiations, the EMFs, everything, the absorbance of all this technology and all these bad frequencies, the disruption of our natural frequencies, that's causing harm to life. One person, by law, can cause these towers to shut down if the sheriffs will do their job. That's it. There's no convincing either. If they want to come out on a live video and then we can have them pull up their phone, I'll take them right to the sites they need to see. I got actually some of the paperwork and Lori Kramer's research that Dane Wigington plagiarized in my pack too. Always carry a bunch of stuff on you. Not ever worried about them ambushing me or arresting me. I don't go out to break the law. We go out to stop lawbreakers from hurting people. And right now, the United States military is in violation of the Constitution, in violation of their oaths. So they are traitors by the very definition, and we don't want our military to be traitors. We're more than happy to shut up and go away, and they can shut this program down for the 3 years that we're requesting. That's it. Just do it quietly. I won't take one victory lap in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen. I'll just tell people God did something amazing and just walk away and leave it at that. Because it's going to take God to soften the hearts of those people that are murdering us and using us like we're guinea pigs. Directed energy weapons. NEXRADs. Look them up. You got one near you? You can Google it in most cities. If you put Doppler radar, you can zoom down. If you see a ball-looking giant tower, that's what they are. You're getting a ground view. But they'll stand out on the top of the Googles. They're on tall towers. You see the shadow line of the towers going up to the platform surface. We got moderators. Don't worry about the... Say, I still don't understand that part, but we're not going to give too much attention to them. You'd think these people that are actually helping federal agents that are violating their oaths, trying to find some way to stop what we're doing, you'd think those people would be on the side of all of our children not choking on poisons and being experimented on. You'd think. How could you hate someone so much that you'd rather choke on poisons and let the military murder communities and flood people out? You hate one person so much that you would help the feds do what you're doing. Get thee behind me, Satan. Focused on right now is we're waiting on the sheriff's office to come out. There's been a call. We are past an hour. So there's going to be a part 3, obviously. In a few minutes, I have to go get me some coffee. Empty my bladder. And of course, I'll be calling them to notify them that I'm going to treat my restroom break like an emergency, and I hope they treat this next call like an emergency and get out here and do their job. So then this will be a 911 recorded call instead of just a recording left on their machines. Because I don't see him yet. I mean, I'm seeing a lot of Norman PD. Usually you don't see that many over here. They got a Oklahoma Police Department for the university campus. Oklahoma University Police Department. I mean, you got some, I guess, but I haven't seen that many around. Which is good. If you're watching this later and you drove by me and you were in that car right there, you could have took that car and you could have blocked that when these people came out. You could have blocked it and wouldn't let no more traffic go through there. And what your one car could have shut this down. You know, turn your cherries on. You park it right here, officer. You know, that's what I'll be asking the sheriff's officer to do when they get out of here. No, 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 no. I want you to park your vehicle right there. So then this stuff isn't moving through here. This whole area needs to be sealed off because it's a crime scene. Because the weapons here were utilized to murder our families in Western North Carolina. So this is an official crime scene. So we need the sheriff's department to treat it as a crime scene, seal off the traffic going in and out, shut down the power feeding those towers, and tell Governor Stitt to declare an emergency session immediately. And have every one of those political kings and queens in that Capitol building that put forth fake legislation as if they plan on doing anything to begin with just to shut up their constituents. Put them all on notice. That's what the law enforcement officers should be doing. Not driving around ticketing people, not having to stay in an area in case some guy runs and jumps on a tower and then it's a, oh no, what do we do moment. When I come back, I'm going to be closer there, like directly across. I think I'm just going to go. We're going to go past that post when I come back. For those of you in law enforcement watching. So I'm going to kill this live feed. I'm going to go take a potty break and then get me a refill. And then I'm going to come to that post and then run the next simulation while I wait for you after I call 911. Because now it is an emergency. The towers are still activated, the weather's still being modified, and the military is still committing treason. We want the military to stop committing treason. We want President of the United States to shut down the weather weapons system. Very, very simple. It's not asking too much to have blue skies again. No more poisoned air. No more headaches, fatigue. You're killing our people, President Trump. You're killing our people. Shut it down. Shut it down. We'll be back to go live in a little while. I'll have my live ready just in case they want to talk to me on my way over there. But law enforcement knows that they're coming out to speak with me. I will be recording. Hey, sit. We'll walk over there and see what's going on. You'll stay live with me for a minute. That's a long time just to have this vehicle parked over there. That might just be 3 units on standby because I'm here. And they're just keeping them way back over there. Let's go ask them what they're doing. So I thought that one guy looked like he was sitting on the ground. Must be their little rapid response unit. Hey, that's great. Let's go see what they're up to. See if we can ask him.
Get it on the record. Get their names and badge numbers. Hold on. Get everything plugged in. They're waiting. For an hour. Looks like the mods are getting rid of the trolls one after the next. Good, we want to hear them in the future. Let them all comment. If you like choking on poisons and everything, man, go ahead and make a comment and call us dumb or something else. Separate the flock. No, I think someone is still sitting on the ground. There's the NexRad side view of the NexRad right there. Adam sent me lunch funds. God bless you, Adam. We'll be going out later tonight. We'll get some of our people fed. No, man, they're still sitting there with their cherries on. Oh yeah, they're towing their truck there. Looks like they're getting ready to tow it. They acquired themselves a vehicle. Maybe let's go see. Maybe we can get them to just drop that vehicle and block that entrance right there. That entrance to these NexRad towers. Those are directed energy weapons. If you're just joining us, maybe we can get them to take this poor guy's what is that, like a Mustang? I know absolutely diddle about cars. All right, let's see. Let's hurry up. I want to see if that driver will do that for us. We'll see what these fine officers are up to. Maybe they'll help. They can use one of their cars to block this one over here, and then there's one more running that way. They can block that. So we can have this whole side just sealed off with what's going on right here. If the tow truck driver wants to get in with that big flatbed, we might be able to do something about the main big artery right there. Take out two with one vehicle. Bam. See, now we got a plan. God already provided what we needed to shut the campus down. Let's go see if they're up. Let's go see if these people are up for standing up to the United States military, telling them that you don't consent to them poisoning you and your kids. If you have to poison us to control the weather, then you shouldn't be playing God with the weather. It's a good simulation meet spot, guys. You'll be right next to the weapons. Quite a few homeless out here in the area. I need to talk later with you guys about the homeless. Man, I know they cause a lot of problems for themselves, but there's a few people out here, a few church groups and independent nonprofits that are holding firm. Okay, let's see. It's a nice car. Hey, what's up? All right, here we go. Got here just in time, praise the Lord. What kind of car we got? All right, someone needs to call Quality Inc. Ask them if they can loan us this truck. To let the driver do something. Can he use this car for whatever he wants to use it for?
Sir?
Can he use this now for whatever he wants to use it?
No, he's taking it to an impound lot and blocking it up so it's safe.
You think you could park this and block a road for us over here?
No.
No, all right, I just wanted to ask. What about you two? Do you think you guys could use your units to block a road over here?
What's going on over there?
Do you know what those are?
Let's see what we got. Where? What things?
What do you think those big brown bally things on those towers are?
Oh, the radars?
Yeah, what do you think those are?
Radars?
Radars? What are their purpose?
Weather radar as far as I know.
Oh. Do you know that they got directed energy weapons components built within it, and that it's actually part of the USAP operations, United States Antarctica Project? You know that?
Nope, never heard of it.
You haven't?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, these weapons were utilized against families of ours in western North Carolina, and the NEXRAD data that came out shows how that storm and the air mass was pushed away and steered up into the mountains.
That's terrible.
So what we're trying to do is we're trying to get law enforcement. So I called the sheriffs, and I talked to them the other day.
Yeah.
It's funny.
Yeah.
They haven't come here. I'm about to call 911 in a minute.
Okay.
But that's not on you guys.
Well, we're 911.
Yeah.
If you call us, it's us. You get. So what
You go. Oh, okay. Well, you're going to have to get a hold of the sheriffs, because sheriff's office is supposed to have a deputy out here. I talked with the deputy chief the other day.
Okay.
So
Okay. Okay. What was your name so I can let dispatch know when you call in that?
you can just tell him Lewis.
Lewis?
Yep, Lewis.
Is it
That's fine.
L-E-W-I-S?
Lewis.
I always ask because Lewis is such a weird name. People do different things with it. All right,
You
Lewis.
haven't had no briefing or nothing like
I
that.
haven't heard
You have
anything
no
about it.
idea about me.
No one's told
Yeah.
me anything about this.
Okay, cool.
Not that
right.
I can recall. That's
I'm
why I
on your
asked.
side here.
I appreciate
I'm
that.
an independent investigative journalist,
Heck yeah, dude.
and
Good for you.
I've been fighting for the families in North Carolina.
Good for you.
Do you know that none of them got their land back that FEMA took?
No.
That in one county alone, over 220 property owners took the FEMA deal before the new president was elected, and none of them got their land back after these weapons were used to steer that storm in their direction.
That's a tragedy.
If your superior would say you're allowed to shut those weapons down and cut power to this facility, if they gave you the authority and said you're allowed to do it,
I can't. That's private property.
so you could use private property to commit a crime.
I'm not saying you can, but I can't
Oh.
go on private property and investigate that. You have to get a search warrant. That's something where, and it's also something where I'm pretty sure with that it's OUPD's jurisdiction.
You know, it's funny. I've had quite a few hours of interviews with Agent Rich, and we've even brought out a whistleblower and a researcher in here in Oklahoma City. And there's 2 complaints filed with the FBI related to these particular weapons programs.
You're good, man. I appreciate it.
So,
Interesting. Well, good enough. I'll keep an eye on it, Lewis. You be safely. I gotta get this stuff going with it because they got me send another call out here. But
well, I'm gonna have to go take a little potty break. I'll be, doing my thing.
All
They'll probably
right.
tell you what
All
I'm
right,
doing out here.
all right, Lewis.
I'll be calling 911, so I guess you'll be responding in a little while.
Maybe not. I mean, is this an emergency?
Yeah, it is. You see those towers? They're still on.
Okay.
And then I can show you what those towers do to you and what they're doing to everyone else.
Gotcha. Okay,
Yeah.
well, if they send us over here, we'll take care of it. Lewis, you be safe.
All
man.
right.
Stay
Yeah,
out
you
of
be
trouble.
safe too.
I appreciate it.
Yep. I don't think they're going to park their cars, so. But we'll see what happens, guys. We'll see what happens.
The other one was actually smiling and nodding his head right away at some of those key points. Some of these people know. I don't know if that other guy knows or not, but it's pretty clueless. Apparently, he's not allowed to take this car and use it to help save America. You don't need a vote to save America. You need to get out off your butts. Give these people something new to talk about at the table. 2 units going out, following the merchandise that's been seized. Doesn't it make you just feel good knowing that that car is not going to be driving on the road and those directed energy weapons are going to be perfectly able to sit there and operate against you? All right, let me go take a break. I got to charge up. We'll be going live here after I call 911. I'm going to call 911 and we'll play the game with them. Run another simulation. The less they do, the more we get to do, because they're showing that they don't intend to do anything. Praise God. It's VOP News. Louis Arthur. Jesus loves you. Gotta go.